Hi, I am AISYAH Sofia binti ZULHIKAM and I will be presenting our introduction for this presentation. For the introduction of our type of business, at first, Mamee was specialized in making instant noodles, but as time went on, they managed to expand their business by collaborating with other companies in order to produce more interesting goods. The type of business of Mamee is partnership, which consists of 2 or more entities that determines shared ownership and operation of business. Mamee's target market is not only for children, but also for adults who love snacks.
Assalamualaikum, my name is FARHANA and I will be presenting about the background business.
Mamee is a famous Malaysian company that produces various kinds of snacks. It was launched in 1971 by the founder Datuk Fang Chin Hin and his partner. Have you ever thought of where the name Mamee came from? Well, it's derivative of the endearing term for mother, which is Mamee, to represent the strong emotion connection of a child. One of their well-known goods, which is Mamee Monster Noodles, has a very interesting backstory on how the idea to produce the product sparks. It was when Tan Sri Pang Ti Chu noticed rubber tapers eating uncooked instant noodles straight from the pack, the Pang father-son duo steered their noodle production in a new direction and launched the memorable crunchy noodle snack. They started this business in a small factory in Malacca that manufactures instant noodles, but now the Mamee factory in Malacca is filled with the latest technology and robots that ensures the quality of their goods. They also have a research team called the Monster Lab to innovate through market demand. Currently, they have produced over 50 kinds of goods, meaning they will definitely expand in the near future. Mamee exports their goods to other countries with their own slogan called A World of Good Taste. And this brand is really popular in certain countries as well, which are Singapore, Brunei, Indonesia, Southern Thailand, and Australia.
Assalamualaikum warahmatullahi wabarakatuh. My name is NUHA NADIRA binti ASHLYZAN and I will be presenting type of product and economic problems. Other than Mamee Monster product, Mamee also has many type of product. One of it is called Double Decker. It has 4 flavors, which are chicken cracker, prawn cracker, and green is classic. Another type of product is Mr. Potato. It also has flavor like tin packet and plastic packet. And not forget, Contos, which is one of the most popular in the market. They are spicy and sweet flavor types that also my favorite one. Last but not least, there are also Mamee instant noodle. And the latest one is ghost pepper and the popular one is spicy mee boba. Don't forget, their main instant noodle is Mamee Chef.
Assalamualaikum warahmatullahi wabarakatuh. My name is Najihah Husna binti NADZIR and I will be presenting about the concept of scarcity, choice and opportunity cost. The concept of scarcity is the inability to produce the goods due to limited resources but unlimited ones. Resources is not just limited to materials but it's also labor, land, capital and entrepreneur. In other words, it represents unattainable production of a company. The company that we chose, which is Mamee, definitely applied the concept of scarcity in its company because of its lack of resources in the process of producing the goods, such as the limited workers they have. Due to the limited workers, the company cannot produce both goods. Next, choice must be made due to scarcity. This is because resources are scarce and many needs and wants cannot be satisfied, and also to avoid the wastage of resources. The concept of choice is that the company has to choose among the attainable choices. As for Mamee, the choice is between producing more instant noodles rather than snacks. Lastly, Mamee also applied the concept of opportunity cost, which is the cost that needs to be foregone in their business, which shows that obtaining more of one type of output requires having fewer of the other type of output. Mamee's opportunity cost is getting more units of instant noodles and less units of snacks.
For each company, they basically has economic problem. For Mamee company, they also has it too. For the problem of what to produce has been solved by analyzing what the consumer wants and satisfy them. Mamee is known for producing a variety of snacks, but the most produced goods are chips and instant noodles, as there is a lot of demand for them. Next, the problem on how to produce has been solved by choosing a method, whether it's labor intensive or capital intensive, that has lower cost and higher profit. With that being said, Mamee has chosen capital intensive as it minimizes cost of production and it will bring in more profit for the company. Other than that, how much to produce refers to the quantity to be produced, and this is also applies to demand from the society as well as it is related to the wise and efficient usage or scarce resources without any wastage. Last but not least, the problem of whom to produce is solved by depending on the distribution of income in society. Mamee goods target market is for those who have lower incomes and lower purchasing power, as their goods are less expensive when compared to another company.
The law of demand. The law of demand states that when the price of a good itself increases, the quantity demanded for the good will decrease, and when the price of the good decreases, the quantity demanded will increase. Ceteris paribus. Based on the graph, the change in quantity demanded occurs along the same demand curve, which is caused by the change in price of the mummy's goods itself. Ceteris paribus. When the price of mummy's good increases from P0 to P1, the quantity demanded will decrease from Q0 to Q1. As a result, the increased price of mummy's goods will cause an upward movement along the demand curve. Therefore, the decrease in the quantity demanded will be known as contraction in demand. Based on the graph above, the change in quantity demanded occurs along the same demand curve, which is caused by the change in price of the mummy's good itself. Ceteris paribus. When the price of mummy's good decreases from P0 to P1, the quantity demanded will increase from Q0 to Q1. As a result, the decreased price of the mummy's good will cause a downward movement along the demand curve. Thus, the increase in the quantity demanded is known as an expansion in demand. Based on the demand curve I've explained before, we can conclude that all demand curves have downward sloping curves because both quantity demand curve shows negative relationship between price and quantity demanded.
The law of supply states that when the price of a mummy good itself increases, the quantity supplied of the good will increase, and when the price of the good decreases, the quantity supplied will decrease. Ceteris paribus. Based on the supply graph above, the change in quantity supplied is caused by the change in the price of the good itself. If the price of the good increases from RM2 to RM3, the quantity supplied also increases from 15 units to 20 units. It is shown by the upward movement along the curve. Based on the supply graph, the change in quantity supplied is caused by the change in the price of the good itself. If the price of the good decreases from RM3 to RM2, the quantity supplied also decreases from 20 units to 15 units. It shows the downward movements along the curve. Upward sloping supply curve. Both supply curves shows positive relationship between price and quantity supplied.
Assalamualaikum. My name is SYUKRIAH. So today I would like to explain about the price elasticity of demand. So what is the price elasticity of demand? So first thing first, the price elasticity of demand is the measures the degree of responsiveness of the quantity demanded for a particular good with change in the price. So in other words, price of elasticity demand is the percentage change in the quantity demanded relative to a 1% change in the price, ceteris paribus. So, as the diagram above shows that they have a formula of price elasticity of demand and also example on how to calculate it. So, for this example, we assume that the price of the good X is increased from 4 ringgit to 5 ringgit and quantity demand is decreased from 350 to 250 ringgit. So, after we calculating it, we finally will get negative 1.6 ringgit. But because of this is the price elasticity of demand, we need to ignore all the negative sign. So our final answer is 1.6, which is elastic. So next question is, how do we know this is elastic? So firstly, we need to see the ED. If the ED is more than 1, so this automatically is elastic. So as the result, when the price Mamee is increased, the demand will decrease. So in other words, the consumer will find another goods that's similar to Mamee's good, but we do not have any increment in the price. Hence, the more related substitutes, the more elastic in the demand as we travel up the demand curve.
Assalamualaikum. My name is IRDINA NAFEESA binti AZLAN, and I will be presenting about the income elasticity of demand. Income of elasticity of demand. The definition is to measure the degree of responsiveness of the quantity demanded due to a change in income. Income elasticity is calculated to determine the type of a particular good, whether it is a normal, luxury, necessities, or inferior goods. The formula for calculating income elasticity of demand is EY equals to the percentage change in quantity demanded of good X divided by the percentage change in consumer's income. For example, 70 minus 40 divide to 40 times 1,500 divide 2,000 minus 1,500. The result will be equal to 0.76, which means it is a normal goods. When 0 is less than EY and EY is less than 1, Mamee's good is in elastic income elasticity where it represents normal good. Therefore, a rise in income by 1% will lead to an increase in quantity demanded for Mamee's good by 0.76%, but the increase in demand is less than the increase in income. The concept of equilibrium. Market equilibrium is a situation whereby quantity demanded and quantity supplied are equal. Based on the table, when the price is in 1 ringgit, quantity supplied is 4, quantity demanded is 20. Market condition shows that quantity demanded is more than quantity supplied, which is 20 minus 4 equal to shortage of 16 units. Shortage will happen when quantity demanded is more than quantity supplied. When the price is RM2 ringgit, quantity supplied is 8, quantity demanded is 16, which is 16 minus 8 equals the shortage of 8 units. This condition arises when price is below the equilibrium price. Next, when the price is 3, quantity supplied is 12, and quantity demanded is also 12, this will be the market equilibrium. Market equilibrium is achieved when quantity demanded equals to quantity supplied. When the price is 4, quantity supplied is 16, quantity demanded is 8, market condition shows the quantity demanded is less than quantity supplied. 16 minus 8 will be surplus of 8 units. Surplus will happen when quantity demanded is less than supplied. Last but not least, when the price is 5, quantity supplied is 20, quantity demanded is 4, market condition is 20, minus 4 will be surplus of 16 units. This condition arises when price is above the equilibrium price.
The graph shows on how the market equilibrium graph of Mamee's goods can be drawn using the information given in the table. The equilibrium price and the equilibrium quantity of Mamee's goods happens when the demand curve intersects with the supply curve. In other words, DD is equivalent to SS, or the quantity demanded of Mamee's goods is equivalent to the quantity supplied of Mamee's goods. Based on the graph drawn, the equilibrium price of Mamee's goods is at 3 ringgit Malaysia and the equilibrium quantity of Mamee's goods is 12 units. This is where the stability point has been reached, where the market equilibrium is achieved. There will be no tendency for price and quantity of Mamee's goods to change. Therefore, both buyers and sellers are willing to buy and sell the Mamee's goods in the market. There are also two other conditions shown in the table, which are shortages and surpluses, where those are the two problems that arise due to this equilibrium. Shortage occurs for Mamee's good where the quantity demanded is greater than the quantity supplied. It happens when the price is situated below the equilibrium price of Mamee's goods. For example, when the price of Mamee's goods is at 2 ringgit Malaysia, the quantity demanded of Mamee's goods is 16 units, while the quantity supplied of Mamee's goods is only 8 units. Hence, there is a shortage of 8 units of Mamee's goods. In order to reach the equilibrium level, there will be forces to push the price towards the equilibrium level. In short, there will be an upward pressure for the price to increase towards the equilibrium price. When the price increases, there will be effects for both buyers and sellers, which is the buyers will cut their quantity demanded of Mamee's goods because the price has become expensive, which leads to a decrease in the quantity demanded of Mamee's goods. The quantity demanded of Mamee's goods will then reduce towards the equilibrium price from 16 units to 12 units. Furthermore, when the price of Mamee's goods is increased, the sellers will increase their supply in Mamee's goods, which leads to increase in their sales since it is profitable for them. So, the quantity supplied in Mamee's goods will increase towards the equilibrium quantity of Mamee's goods from 8 units to 12 units. Surplus also happens when the quantity demanded of Mamee's goods is less than the quantity supplied of Mamee's goods. It always occurs when the price is above the equilibrium price. For instance, when the price of Mamee's goods is at 4 ringgit Malaysia, the quantity supplied of Mamee's goods is only 8 units, while the quantity supplied of Mamee's goods is 16 units. It will then lead to a surplus of 8 units. When surplus occurs, there will be a downwards pressure for the price to reduce towards the equilibrium position. First, when the price decreases towards the equilibrium price of Mamee's goods, it will affect both buyers and sellers. The buyers will increase their demand of Mamee's goods due to the cheaper or more affordable price. The quantity demanded of Mamee's goods will then increase towards the equilibrium quantity of Mamee's goods from 8 units to 12 units. But it is the opposite for the sellers because they will reduce their supply in Mamee's goods since it is unprofitable to sell more units at a lower price. As a result, the quantity supplied in Mamee's goods will reduce towards the equilibrium quantity of Mamee's goods from 16 units to 12 units.
So for the next one is the government intervention in the market. So basically, in the market demand and supply, the government will intervene in the market by imposing non-price control regulation and by controlling the price of certain goods and services. So in this case, Mamee used taxes as their non-price control. So what is taxes? Taxes will normally affect the market demand and supply, as well as reflecting the decrease and increases the market price and quantity. So basically, after the company receives the taxes, the price will change. Not only that, tax have two types, which is direct tax and indirect tax. Direct tax is tax levied by the government straightly to the person who cannot shift the burden of paying the tax to others. Meanwhile, indirect tax is incidence tax, which refers to the burden of the tax by consumers and producers. But not only that, they also have some situations that producers pay more taxes and consumers tend to have a heavier taxes. In this graph, the government gives tax amount of 3 ringgit 50 cents to Mamee. Hence, Mamee will get incidence tax by the government. But as you can see here, the graph shows that producers pay more tax compared to consumers, which is producers pay 20 ringgits while consumers pay only 15 ringgits for the whole tax. On top of that, producers pay 2 ringgit for their unit per tax, while consumers pay 1 ringgit 50 cents for their unit per tax. In conclusion, the government give tax to Mamee to encourage their production. Thank you.
In conclusion, Mamee is not only affordable to people of all ages, but it is also a cheap price for happiness of the children and everyone. However, nowadays, the target market for Mamee goods has totally changed from children under 12 years old to now, which is 18 to 29 years old. This Mamee is also influencing demand and supply curve in the current market. What we can see, if the price of Mamee decreases, the demand for Mamee will increase and vice versa. It is because the price is cheaper than the price of the first release and many people will be interested to buy it. Not only that, this will also relate to supply, which is when demand increases, the supply for the Mamee will increase too. Mamee have an elastic price elasticity and very sensitive towards price changes due to having many close substitutes. Although Mamee is a well-known brand, they also have experienced losses and falls, weeks in business before they succeed like today.